All right. So in creating melodies, one of my favorite VSTs I use is called Triton, amongst many others, by the way. So VSTs are simply this is a drum VST, by the way. They're simply plugins that used to create sounds to make a beat with, or to make sounds with. So I can just go to my inserts. I'll select Korg Triton. This is it. So Korg, the reason why I like Korg Triton is that it has so many sounds, and it's very light on PC. It doesn't drag your CPU, although it needs a lot of RAM. So you need to have a lot of RAM to use this plugin. It's by Korg. Korg is a very popular manufacturer. They make the popular piano and keyboards. So this is their VST for this particular synthesizer. So yeah, so let's pick out some sounds. I'll be looking out for, let's say, a keyboard sound. Let me get my MIDI up. Okay, I think that's a good sound. So we'll just get chord progression with it. So I'm using my MIDI, that is a MIDI keyboard, to play this. So let's just create our drums here. This is the playlist where you get to create your songs. So just select this, create maybe like, I think this should be enough. And I just make it 8 bars in case it's not enough. So then we select a region like this. We'll go to pattern. So let's create a new pattern. You can right click, find next empty. But this is, so click it, then we'll create our chord progression. So there are many ways you can create your chord progression. You can use your MIDI keyboard if you already know how to play your MIDI keyboard. So you can create some chords like that, or you can use your computer keyboard. Just make sure that this button here is clicked. Type in keyboard to piano keyboard. Make sure it's selected on your FL Studio. And you can also use your mouse to pick the notes here. So for the course of this tutorial, I'm going to use the mouse, because I think everybody should have a mouse. Maybe everybody may not be familiar with using the MIDI keyboard. I'm going to use the mouse and create chord progressions and melodies for this tutorial. So let's get started. Let's bring it down 1 octave. An octave simply means like the notes will sound a bit heavier, like this. So if you want to create a chord, there's a melody, there's a formula to follow. It's called 1 3 5. So this is my 1 2 3 4 5. So if I'm going to select this, if I start from here, like, okay, when I create the next chord, you see what I'm trying to say. So remember, I'm in the key of C, so I'm using all the white notes. I'm not using any black notes here, all the white notes. So let's go to, let's say, so this is my 1 2 3 1 3 5. So this is 1. Then I'll come and select, let's say, another like this. So I'm just randomly trying them out. So, like I said, the formula I was trying to explain then was the 1 3 5. This is 1 2 3 4 5. For here again, this is 1. This is F 2 3 4. Sorry, this is 1 2 3. This is 4, then this is 5. Remember, I was sticking to the black note, so I'm trying to escape any dark notes or notes with that has the hash with it, just the notes with the regular name A5, G5, E5, like that. So same thing, it all applies. So this is the same thing. We start from here as 1, so we count again. This is 3, then this is 5. So that's the formula for getting your major chords on any key. So I take it to key C, it's all white keys and it's easiest to understand. So this is our chord progression. So we'll simply select and copy this. So we need to layer it to give it more life. Layering simply means combining multiple instruments to get a unique sound. So we'll duplicate this. In case if your PC is not strong enough to handle too many VSTs, you can just render this and use the same VST. Like for example, when I come here, right click, I can come to render and replace, and it will replace this, and it will be an audio file. But for the sake of tutorial, I'll leave everything in MIDI format, or as much as I can leave in MIDI format. So I'll just come to clone this particular VST with the same sound. Okay, since it's already loaded, I'll go to a new pattern, or I can just copy this since I need this again. Come to a new pattern, paste this here. But when you're layering, you have to pick like a sound that will complement your main melody. Like since it's a keyboard sound, I may pick maybe a sound close to the same vibe that has the same feel with it. So maybe I'll come to maybe mallet sound. Okay, I like this sound, so let's listen to. Okay, I'll take it to a higher octave, or let's look at the low octave and compare with the beat and see how it sounds. All right, so what I did here was it's still the same progression, but I just moved the notes around a little bit to get a little bit of melody to make it sound more interesting. While it was all together, it sounded kind of boring, so I just moved the notes around a little so it sounded more interesting. I was able to do that easily by selecting my quantized, by clicking this magnet over here and selecting 1/4 beats. So yeah, that's how to form a simple primary melody. So now we're going to form other counter and supporting melodies with this melody that we have here. So let's see how that sounds like.